cold game. First round draft pick.
Welcome to another episode of Cold Game. I'm your host, Isaiah Dotson. I'm here with my co-host, Malcolm Bennell. And we just got done watching a classic, epic conclusion to this NCAA basketball season. Florida beats Houston 65-63 in your 2025 national championship game. What an outstanding performance. Congratulations to Florida on great season. Congratulations to Houston on your great season. Only one team can win, cuz. Give me your initial thoughts about this game, your initial reactions on this 2025 national championship game.
Man, we called it, huh, cuz?
Straight up.
I mean, you called it. I was just kind of riding your coattails on that one, but like you said, man, we probably should have put a couple of bucks on that game, man. I mean, if we would have put some money on that when we said it, shoot, there would have probably been some crazy odds. It might have been like some. I don't know. I wonder what the odds on that was, but man, that was a crazy game, man, from start to finish. That real physical, super physical. Houston, shout out to Houston, man. I thought they had that. I mean, shoot, I didn't know they lost the game until they lost it. You know, super physical team. Man, I think the turning point in that game, man, was when JoJo Tugler and Francis got in that foul trouble, man, because they was really dominating Florida. They was dominating Florida. They kept shooting the trap at Watcher Clayton Jr. He couldn't get nothing. You know, shout out to Will Richard. You know, he came in the clutch for Florida and started putting up some big buckets, Condon. And then, man, your boy Roberts, he was taking it right at Condon. I mean, he was only 2 for 9, but he was trying to put him in there. He was trying to punk him down low. But they wasn't going. Man, shout out to Florida for handling at the end. And then I don't know, between LJ Cryer and Emmanuel Sharp, one of y'all got to take a shot at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody got to put up a shot. I mean, you know, I don't know. You get something on the rim, especially on that being down 2. Get something on that rim, man. Y'all can't go out like that and not getting no shot on that rim. So,
Yeah, because that's major. And you know what? We've been seeing it all tournament. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And in this game in particular, Houston had a fantastic start to the game. They was very aggressive. They was focused heavily on Watcher Clayton Jr. But shout out to that boy Will Richard, because he kept his team in the game in that first half. He scored 14 of their 28 points. You couldn't ask for anything better from your off guard, from your secondary playmaker than that performance in that first half, especially when Florida or when Houston held Watcher Clayton Jr. scoreless. They held him scoreless. And then, like you said, I think the turning point in that game definitely when Tugler and Francis, when they got in that foul trouble, because Tugler was down there and he's a dog.
He's a dog.
So we was talking about, you know, the boys Florida got Condon, and the other 2 big boys they got down there, but it's something about them American-born boys from that hood. You feel me? Who grew up playing rough and tough, and they just wasn't taking no mess down there. It's a different mindset, because you know they grew up, you know, in certain environments that made them tougher than most. You know, and they definitely had that on display throughout the whole entire game. And you've seen it, you know, and you can tell that in the stat sheet. It showed up on the stat sheet because Houston out-rebounded offensively. They had 15 offensive rebounds. They was telling their guards, put it up on the rim. They was grabbing everything. 15 offensive boards to Florida's 8. Florida out-rebounded them with defensive ends 32-24. But it really came down to those crunch moments at the end of the game. Every defensive possession seemed to be going Florida's way, from the ball off the leg of Head. I know he's gonna want those last 2 possessions back. The ball bouncing off his leg, him going up for the shot and not shooting it, letting the ball, you know, getting that travel. Bro, just let it go. High arc. If you think somebody gonna block your shot, It's always better to get the high arc on and get some air up onto the ball and just let it go. Stop thinking about it. So that was some key stats that those last defensive possessions, the turnover battle. It's crazy because Houston was winning the turnover battle the whole game.
The whole game.
The whole game. It wasn't until the last few possessions that it switched. And that's what you say. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Cause what do you think about Houston's inability to control that ball at the end?
Man, it's crazy because that was Florida's problem at the beginning. You know, they were shooting that trapper watcher Clayton Jr. He just kind of throwing these little overhead passes, throwing them out of bounds. He's throwing them to nobody. They was trapping him so hard, like he was just throwing the ball out of bounds. He wasn't even passing it to nobody. He just flinging it over his head. You know, so I don't know if it was smart, but they took Walter Clayton out the game, and so they made them play, you know, defense. Now y'all got to play real defense. We ain't gonna just be shooting the thing. Now, I think there could have been some more done on Florida's end to get Walter Clayton better shots. Like, you know, they should have went away from that pick and roll. They kept going to that pick and roll. They were shutting that down. It's no pick and roll. I think they should have ISO Clayton a little more. Got a shot going, but I think on Houston's end, they should have kept going to Crier down that stretch, man. I mean, I know they would like to dump it down to the big fella, man, and let him work, but he really that was ineffective, man. Let Crier keep going to work. He was getting them shots up, and I wanted to see him take that last shot. I didn't want to see Emmanuel Sharp take that. You know, he kind of deferred to Emmanuel. I mean, he was open, man, but man, Crier, go ahead and get your money, man. Go ahead and, you know, become legendary in game Florida, you know, and get Houston their first national championship.
They said in the huddle that Kelvin Sampson looked his leaders in the eye. He looked Jawan Roberts in the eye. He looked LJ Crier in the eye and said, man, go. You know, he when your coach is telling you to go, LJ, man, go. I don't care if you miss this one of your shots and they ain't go in. Take every shot because you're really like that. Yeah. You really are. But it's nothing to hang your head about, man, because y'all had a tremendous season. That was a tremendous battle. Only one team could win. Todd Golden. He becomes the youngest coach since 1985 to win the championship at 39 years old. Is he one of the future GOATs in this game, cuz?
He gotta run it back, you know what I'm saying? He gotta, you know, so I ain't gonna put that GOAT title on him, but you know, great job, phenomenal job. Another thing I wanted to say, man, just getting back to that, you know, Walter Clayton Jr., man, I think watching that game, I had to remember I'm watching college basketball, man. These are still kids out there. But you know, they was taking some crazy shots. There was some crazy shots being put up. You know, I guess that's the name of the game now, man. But get that ball to the cup, man. You know, I don't know. Calvin Sampson put a great game plan against Florida to win. They just had to finish that out. But shout out to Florida. I don't know if he's a GOAT yet, cuz you know, you can't put him in that conversation, but he's well on his way to having a great career at 39 years old, winning the national championship. It's only up from there.
Absolutely, cuz you know the saying, you live by that gun, you're gonna die by that gun. You know, and that's what happened. You know, it was shots wasn't falling tonight. Both teams only hit 6 3-pointers. They both tremendous 3-point shooting teams that only hit 6. I mean, that just goes to show the credit of the defense that was being played. But let's rewind it back to what you initially came on this broadcast in, because it was in the SEC tournament after Florida played Alabama. We got on this broadcast, and I looked y'all in your eye, and I told you, Florida's going to win the national championship. We've seen it there. It was too much evidence. Their style of play, their ability to knock down shots in crunch time. They're playing with 3 athletic bigs, 4 of them, who's getting up and down the court. 4 athletic bigs, 3-point shot makers around the perimeter. We seen from then that it was going to be a wrap. And when the bracket came out, again, we looked y'all in your eye and told y'all Florida's gonna win that championship. Me and Cuz broke it all down for you. In our final four bracket, we had Michigan, Florida, Houston, Duke. Florida, Duke. Florida.
Yeah.
And that's how we gave it to y'all, and we did not disappoint. Only thing that we're disappointed in, that I'm disappointed in, is that we didn't put that cheese up. Because the saying goes, put some money where your mouth
is. Yeah.
And we were saying it. So that's the only disappointment. But with that said, man, that concludes the 2025 NCAA season, men's and women's basketball. You know, what a game! What a great Final Four in general. You know, whoever said that the sport was dying or whatever nonsense they was talking about, man, please stop the cap. The tournament ain't going nowhere. This year was just for the big dogs. Now, as much as we like Florida, I'm glad they got theirs. So now it all restarts again.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is reset. The transfer portal is going on, and you know who's winning that thing next year. I will give y'all preseason top five or way too early top five, but it's way too early in the off season. The transfer portal is still going down, so we can't even give y'all a preseason or way too early top five. Too much stuff to be determined. But what we can tell you is that this season did not disappoint. The Final Four did not disappoint, and this championship game did not disappoint. Give me your final thoughts about this game, cuz, and about the season overall.
Yeah, great college basketball season. I think the whole NCAA tournament didn't disappoint from opening day to the final game. I know it's been said that people want to see more Cinderella teams in there, and they see what I mean. But what has to be done to get to that point. It ain't no. I like the NIL because it makes people now you got something to stand on. You got to play for that money. So you ain't gonna see too many more Cinderella teams, but what you will see is this transfer portal opening up. You'll see other teams getting better. You'll see players who was unhappy or whatever have you feel like they have a better fit somewhere else, going to other schools. So it's not gonna be so one-sided as I think you get into that Final Four and Elite Eight and those national championships, that definitely helps the program because that's going to bring in recruits that want to come to them winners. But man, just like they was talking about on that broadcast, what's his name from Houston?
LJ
Roberts. He wasn't no top recruit. Juwan Roberts. He wasn't no top recruit. He was somebody that Kevin Simpson found, and molded him into a top recruit. So, there's players out there, there's coaches out there, but it all comes down to the good coaching, and it all comes down to that defense, man. I know we in an era where everybody likes to wing them threes and, step back threes and all this other stuff, man. Defense won championships.
Right.
And you've seen that tonight.
What does this mean for Kevin Simpson's legacy?
And it means that IU lost one, and that means IU flushed one down the toilet. I think that's something great for Kevin Simpson's legacy. It's nothing to sniff at. Him losing that game today. He had to get through Cooper Flag and Duke to get there. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no easy road to get to where he was at. He lost by 1 point. So shout out to him. I hope he get as many recruits. I want to see them back. I want to see Houston come right back with that because that was a well-coached team. That was a tough team. They played tough. They played hard, and almost to their detriment, we're getting them boys in foul trouble because I can honestly say if Francis and Tugler was out there, JoJo Tugler was out there that full game, it might have been a different outcome.
Absolutely. All right, cuz. So that concludes the 2025 NCAA basketball season. If you haven't already, make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe to our channel on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, any platform that you can imagine. We're on. All you got to do is go type in Cold Game Sports, Cold Game Sports Network, Cold Game Podcast. Go find us. We're there. And You know, all we can do is say one thing. Cold game.
Okay.
Four, cold game. First round draft pick.